I feel like most people would be very quick to show you and prove that it's not a shock collar because it's so quick and so easy to do. And the fact that he doesn't is odd. Like, it is very peculiar. Like, you have all these people attacking you. You could easily just come out and slam jam thank you ma'am on them by just...
Yeah, exactly. I'm going to assume Moist Critical is a very smart guy because he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking, and I'm really smart, so...
There's the AirTag. There's the fucking vibrator. It all...
Especially the last one. The last one just sends me, you know? The last one is the real cherry on top, the fucking chef's kiss, or it's just literally just like, you fucking happy? Showed you, okay? Huh? Happy now? Case closed.
I'll say it again if I have to. If you pull on a dog's tail and they don't like it, they will attack you, no matter how trained. Hasan doing that with fish shows the bond they have. It looks bad, but it's on par with people messing with their dogs, and the dog is just chilling.
That's a sign of their bond? The cope is insane!
Let's move on to the next subject. This is the one that is by far the biggest from yesterday, and probably one of just the biggest topics in general, which is Hasan and his dog.
But it is emblematic of all of America's much more consequential.
We've seen the clip so many times by now. Just not do that.
You're making her stressed. She just literally is so incredibly spoiled from my mom.
Now, for the life of me, like, I cannot understand what he's even upset about in the first place that he starts, like, scolding the dog for. She moved like an inch, like slightly off of that. It's like in a video game, like in Metal Gear Solid, when someone gets like a fucking question mark over their head, they're like zipping to you immediately. Like,
what's that noise? I can't do noises. Little exclamation mark.
She doesn't do anything really other than move slightly, and he is noticeably upset. He is upset about that specifically. Even before this incident, earlier in the stream, he had already, you know, gotten annoyed at her for moving around prior to this.
The absolute worst country on the planet, straight up, bar none, a capitalist shithole.
Is he doing it again?
Kaya, now was not the opportunity for you to... Down. The absolute worst fucking place on the planet. Just a horrific...
I think it's pretty clear that the dog moving off of that spot is what's making Hasan annoyed at her. Now, I saw he mentioned place training. Place is an actual dog training thing, and the whole idea behind it is designating a spot in a comfortable location for your pet. For a lot of people, I know it's like their office if they work from home. And Hasan was talking about how that area is her place. And for dog training, place is supposed to be like their happy spot where they are super safe and they feel super secure. And the way training goes with this, at least from everything I know about dog training, now keep in mind, when we first got Tetra, we did do dog training because my grandmother used to live with my parents, and Tetra gets very excited to see people. It's the cutest thing in the world, but she loves to jump on people. And my grandma, living at my parents, when we'd go to visit, or if they came to visit, if Tetra would jump on her, it could cause injury. So we did do dog training in order to learn how to, like, help with that. We didn't do any, like, fear training or anything like that with shock collars or whatever, but place was something that we did learn about. And when it comes to place, you do not want to, like, make it something stressful for the animal, at least in our teachings. It's supposed to be a comforting spot for them, not like a stressful thing where they just go there and fucking, like, you know, blue screen in the brain and just sit there idly comatose. And if they don't, they get punished. So he's calling this her place, but when she's moving from the place, he's scolding her. That's not what we were taught you're supposed to do when it comes to place training. That kind of defeats the purpose of it. I don't know why he would be getting so upset at that, like angry at the dog for moving from place. That really does kind of defeat the whole purpose of it. And then in that clip, it seems like he reaches for something. Like he looks off screen and he extends his arm to something, and then shortly thereafter, the dog yelps in pain, and Hasan turns around and calls her a baby, and then tries to reassure the chat that she is spoiled, and then goes on to say that she's spoiled because his mother lets her, you know, have free roam around the house. Now, he and the community are claiming that he didn't use a shock collar or anything, didn't like zap her, you know, fucking Palpatine lightning blast her or anything like that. She got her dew claw stuck on that spot, and that's what made her yelp in pain. I guess quick dog lore breakdown if you're not familiar with...
Maybe if we ignored Hasan and his stupid BS, he would lose relevance. Anytime that idiot does anything, the internet obsesses about him for the next week. Also, don't mistreat animals. I mean, that's just not how the internet works. I think that this stuff becomes a much, much, much bigger thing when it's directed at someone who does a lot of like moralizing, like moral judgments. If you're just like a regular person and then something like this happens, you know, you can have a moment where it's like, oh, I didn't realize that the shock training isn't appropriate for this or whatever. And it wouldn't be like a thing, you know, like people might have some bad words for you for a few days, but it wouldn't be like a big thing. But as soon as it's someone like Hasan who spends all of his time posturing as somebody who has moral superiority, you know, like his whole brand is like, I speak truth to power. You know, I expose the evils of the world for what, like that's his whole brand. That's like all he does. I feel like when I cover politics and discourse and like if I dive into somebody's like arguments, I don't feel like I spend a lot of time saying like, oh, this person's like an evil, bad person. It's always about like the argument, you know? I feel like everybody does like moral judgment sometimes or whatever. But like with Hasan, it's like, it's his whole thing. Like if you're Hasan, if you're like a Hasan audience member, your identity is kind of about, you give yourself a badge of moral superiority. That's how I heard it described one time. This kind of posturing, this kind of like culture. It's like you pin a ribbon on your own shirt that says like, I'm morally superior. And then you just go out in the world and you talk about how everybody else is a piece of shit. Like that's the whole brand. And so when someone like that is embroiled in a scandal that involves like unethical use of a shock collar, then it adds a whole layer of just like, now just like thousands of people that are really turned off by that kind of constant moral posturing are gonna pounce on you like the 300 Spartans in Thermopylae. Like they're just going to descend on you. The whole internet is going to come down on you because you've just spent so many hours, so many days, so many months just like telling the world how evil it is. And so you just it invites a like an equal reaction to that. It invites like a really extreme kind of response.
How those creatures function or anything. The dew claw is separate from like the paw pad area claws. The dew claw is a little higher up on the leg. And it's an old trait from back way in yesteryear when dogs needed that extra claw. It is just now an evolutionary leftover. It's still present, but it's not something that obviously gets utilized by dogs to the same degree it used to. It is a sensitive area. That is true. If you've ever cut your dog's nails, or if you've ever taken your dog to like a dog salon or something and they like...
Yeah, that's a really good example. Like Bill Burr taking that Saudi money to go to Riyadh. You know, that's kind of a bit heartbreaking. But the reason why it's so notable is because, like, you know, I don't know if his whole thing is about moral superiority. I guess in a way it is. I definitely lost a lot of respect for Bill Burr after that. That one cut deep, you know. And just like that ridiculous thing that Chappelle said was, I mean, I don't know. To be fair, it could have been a joke, right? Like, I don't know if you guys heard about this, but like Chappelle said that it was easier to talk about stuff in Saudi Arabia than in America. Maybe that was like a joke, right? Like a really meta kind of joke. I mean, he's a comedian, so I guess it was a joke, but because he's just one of these comedians that I feel like has just devolved into one of these. So many comedians from my childhood, by the way, just fucking, I mean, who's left, you know? I guess Adam Sandler is fine, you know? I guess he's still fine, right? But so many comedians that I respected when I was like a kid just ended up being total shitheads. Like
gave your dog a nail trim. You probably noticed that when it comes to the dew claw, they're very, you know, defensive on it, like cautious, because it is such a tender spot. I have watched this clip like fucking 10 or 15 times now. And today I had some friends come in from out of town, so obviously I've been out most of the day at the farm. And this was actually a conversational topic. It's become so big that it was brought up by them. And every single person, and pretty much everyone I've seen online outside of Hasan and Hasan's community, is all saying the same thing. That yes, it looks like the dog does like touch its leg to that spot on the bed, but it doesn't look like it gets caught or anything. So it feels very unlikely that that is what caused the dog to
Nah, that one did not pass the smell test.
Scream in pain. Like, I don't think that's what made Kaya, that's her.
Like, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, right? Like, it's just purely anecdotal for me. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. You guys tell me if I'm wrong. So I assume many of you guys have had dogs, right? It's a fairly common occurrence for a dog to, you know, hurt their paw. Not seriously, but you take a dog for a walk. You know those little spiky things? You know what I'm talking about? Little spiky things. They're like little and they're like round and they're kind of like spiky. You know what I'm talking about? Anyways, it was pretty common when we were walking around with the dogs that they would get them kind of stuck between the paws. You know, like right in the middle, you know, where there's like the crease or whatever, it would kind of get stuck in there. And anytime, like literally every time one of our dogs would, you know, hurt their paw in any kind of way, what they would do is they would pull their paw up and they would leave their paw up. You know, they would be hesitant to put the paw back down. They would put their paw up. They might like start biting into their fucking paw and, you know, licking their paw. They would like they would keep their paw up. They would never hurt their paw, go, and then put it right back down. Like they would always like try to tend to the wound in some way. And that's just not what happened on the stream yesterday.
Her name, Yelp. It doesn't seem to get caught or snagged on anything. And dew claws aren't so sensitive and so tender that even touching them would cause like a panicked scream or anything. Unless she has an injury there, but I don't think Hasan has mentioned that, at least not that I've seen. So it feels to me very unlikely that that's what caused it, based on everything that we can see. Now, initially, even Hasan's community was starting to question, did he just shock Kaya?
Okay, so the burr clover pod, I think we're getting closer to what I'm talking about. Is this it? This is kind of closer to what I'm talking about, but they would be like dried out. And so they would be kind of brown and kind of less pointy, but this is very close to what I'm talking about. They would always get those stuck in their paws. And so they would pull their paw up and they would fucking like try to bite into their paw to try to fix it. You know, they wouldn't put their paw right back down. They just wouldn't do that ever. Am I wrong about that? Did you guys have dogs? Did you ever see your dog like hurt their paw and then put their paw right back down? I never saw that.
A shock collar on stream. And the clip instantly started going viral, and he kind of downplayed it and shrugged it off as like, oh, a bunch of bad actors attacking me for some fucking phony baloney, barnacles here, you know, unbelievable, this is all a load of fish paste. And instead of doing what I think most people...
Now that's a boomer meme. What is that? This is all a bunch of fish paste. What is that? I've never heard that phrase. Where's he from? Is that a regional thing? Sounded like a very old expression. Well,
like not even just streamers, just normal people would do, of like showing, no, look, it's not a shock collar. Obviously, I didn't shock my dog. He instead just brushes it off, saying, nope, it's not a shock collar. You're stupid for thinking that it is. And that's the attitude that his community had as well. Like, oh, you must have psychosis if you think it's a shock collar. Which
there were so many things that came out like right after I exited kind of like young childness. So like I was 15, I think, when Pokemon fucking exploded, and I didn't give a fuck about Pokemon because I was just all about like trying to fucking make out with girls and find beer on the weekends. And same thing with SpongeBob. I feel like SpongeBob really started to explode like right after I became like a young adult. And so I don't know anything about fucking Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon or any of that shit.
I think is a little odd because it's the easiest thing in the world to prove, right? You have all these people saying this shit, it's not true. Well, it takes like actually 3 seconds just to unclip that collar and just show like, hey guys, I don't want anyone to get the wrong idea here. This is not a shock collar. Look, here's what it is, and then explain it. Like, I feel like
Power Rangers I definitely was not. I'm 42 as well. And I watched a shitload of Power Rangers. Power Rangers went into the fucking stratosphere of coolness when they introduced the White Ranger. That's when everything changed. And then the bad guys switched to having, like, I think Z's on their chest. Because I think the big bad, it went from being like that fucking crazy bitch. You stupid fucking Power Rangers. And then it was like a new kind of fucking Thanos level villain. Was it Zeo or Zod? Zed. That's who it was. And then the little minions, they had like Z's on their chest. And all you had to do was like hit the Z and they would be defeated, which seems like kind of a hack. That's like crazy vulnerability. I watched a lot of Power Rangers. It was, and then my favorite show growing up was The Wonder Years. That shit, I was so invested. Fuck, what's the name of the young kid? Oh God, what is her name? The love interest? She was like tall, I feel like vaguely East Asian. Winnie Cooper? Was it Winnie? Man, no, Topanga was Boy Meets World, bro. Come on. That was the other Savage brother. The Wonder Years, they would have marathons on Nickelodeon during the summer. It would be a fucking week straight, like 7 straight days of just nothing but Wonder Years after 5 p.m. That's when you were like eating good. I would watch like all of them. I fucking loved that show.
Even a non-streamer, like a complete normie, average Joe Schmo, if you went to their house and saw that happen, or like, hey, did you just shock that dog? They'd be like, oh my God, no, this is clearly a misunderstanding. No, that's not what happened. Like, and I feel like most people would be very quick to show you and prove that it's not a shock collar because it's so quick and so easy to do. And the fact that he doesn't is odd. Like, it is very peculiar. Why wouldn't you in the moment? Like, that's such...
This to me is the most like damning part of this whole thing. And I feel like I'm beating a dead horse here if you guys like follow me on Twitter and, you know, you were tuning in yesterday. But, you know, even more than the electrical tape, which I think is very damning, but like even more than that, you just can't make sense of the fact that he didn't do this. There's nothing you can come up with to explain that. It just doesn't make any sense. It really very conclusively, I think, demonstrates that he's, for some reason, just fucking lying about this whole thing. He's just lying about it because it just doesn't make sense. It would be one thing if he had like 5 different options for how to most effectively stem the tide of this drama, you know? No Forbes article, you know, no Philly D video where it's kind of just up in the air and an open question. Just all of that goes away when you do just one simple thing to just definitively close the conversation. Just stop it. Fuck, my haters look like idiots. Just walk over to the dog, take off the collar, put it right up to the fucking camera. Boom, you know, like boom, boom. See that? That's the fucking boom. You know, there's a little, there's no way I can dox myself by showing, you know, there's like, what do you call it? What are the QR code? There's a QR code on the back, right? And it says the fucking brand, the product, particular model, you know, the serial number, just boom, there it is. Everything right there. Just like, fuck you. This is what it is. And then everything goes away. And that's the only thing that like anybody would come up with that, right? Like Esme came home last night and I was like, okay, let me set a scenario for you, okay? And I did the whole thing and I told her about everything, you know, and I was like, all right, assuming that your dog is really just wearing a vibration collar, like what would you do in that spot? And she was like, just show the stream the collar. She was just immediately like, everybody knows that that's what you would do. Like right away, just right away. And then you get to gloat, you know, not only have you averted a crisis, now it's actually a PR plus for you in this. Now you're on the come up. In terms of PR, that's a powerful narrative. You get accused of doing something really awful and then you just fucking boom, you were wrong. Fuck you. But he didn't do that. And there's no way to explain that. You just can't explain that in a way that makes any sense. And you can't explain, you know, okay, here, if you really want to fucking steel man to the fucking, just the extent of what you might logically permit as acceptable, right? You could say that on the day that it happened, he wasn't aware that it was going to turn into as big of a story, which I really doubt, because anything involving dogs, you know, everybody knows, like, that's like sacred, you know, like a dog yelping, that's like, what? But if you really wanted to be charitable, you would say, okay, fine. Maybe he just in the moment was like, fuck the haters, blah, blah, blah. He didn't anticipate it going this viral. All right, fine. That's superficially plausible. Fine. The next day, when you fire up the stream, you would do the same thing. You would open the stream by just boom, 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 boom. See, nothing there, nothing. You know, like you would do like that, right? You would open the stream that way. And that would be the only thing that makes sense. There's nothing else that makes any sense. Nothing. Everything else to clear your name, it's not going to come close to just doing that. And if the whole point is to clear your name in a horrible PR crisis that you even admit is like the worst thing you've ever faced, you would just, like that, and that would be it. And that would be it. That's it. And he didn't do that. And that doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. That is like the worst part of that's the most damning thing for sure.
Such a natural thing to do, especially for what's easily a slam dunk. Like, you have all these people attacking you, you could easily just come out and fucking slam jam thank you ma'am on them by just...
Yeah, exactly. I did not pre-watch this, I promise. Like, I'm gonna assume that Moist Critikal is a very smart guy, because he's thinking the same thing I'm thinking, and I'm fucking really smart. So he's probably 135, 140 IQ minimum, maybe 145, maybe low 140s, if I had to guess.
Listen, Becky, I fucking care about my dog a lot better than you do, dumb fuck. You let your little cockatoo fucking shit.
Now he's shadowboxing like liberal Karens who have cockatoos. What's happening? Or is he talking about a specific pet here? Is this a specific reference?
Muslims don't care about their dogs. And it's like, listen, Becky, I fucking care about my dog a lot better than you do, dumb fuck. You let your little cockatoo fucking shit and piss everywhere and also jump on people and bite them. And then the ASPCA actually does have to kick in and take your little cockatoo away from...
What are we even... Is this an imaginary thing? What's happening here? What is he just constructing a Becky to... Is cockatoo ownership very common? I feel like that's a very niche pet.
Or whatever, Maltese, poodle, whatever kind of fucking... bird-like dog you have that you didn't even fucking train, and you're over here talking shit.
Bird-like dog. We have descended into madness, you know? Like, I feel like it's just... Like, this is an origin story. I feel like we're watching an origin story, you know? He just fucking cracks. And now you're talking about bird-like dogs? Like, I feel like I'm listening to... like a monologue from an It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia character. You know, it's like a bird-like dog, you know? Like, that's my fucking Charlie. That's my best Charlie. You know, bird-like dogs. It's somewhat bird-like. What are you talking about, Charlie? It would be like that, you know?
ASPCA actually does have to kick in and take your little cockatoo away from you, okay? Or whatever, Maltese, poodle, whatever kind of fucking bird-like dog you have that you didn't even fucking train. And you're over here talking shit. Jesus Christ, dude. People that don't train their dogs, people that don't even have fucking dogs, that don't understand how any of this stuff works, literally making up their own minds and being like, oh, I would do it differently. Okay, well, I'm doing it in the best possible way that anyone could do it. And not only that, but you're also fucking inventing an alternative reality where I'm like fucking electrocuting my dog or some shit. Psychos. This is quite personal. It's like telling a parent is abusive towards his kids. No wonder you'd be pissed. I know.
Man, he is just deep in it, guys. He's like 100, 300 feet under the surface. Like, he's in it, man.
Being like, nope, it's not a shot caller. Look, here you go. The proof is in the pudding. Behold, like, it'd be so quick, so simple, and it would be irrefutable. But that didn't happen yesterday.
I gotta say, this kind of feels like sweet karma for the fucking Giardia. Somebody mentioned Ethan in the chat. Like, this kind of feels like sweet karma for the Giardia fucking thing. With all that, you know? It's so fun. Like, Noah Samson yesterday tweeted something that I thought was fucking so rich coming from this guy. Like, mind you, this was his tweet yesterday. This Hasan dog collar stuff is blowing my mind. I've never seen so many people so immediately and unanimously act this insane and conspiratorial about a stream clip. Bro, really? You've never seen that? If you really put your mind to it, you really couldn't think of something, Noah? Something that could potentially be analogous? The fucking Giardia people, they're really going with that? Like, oh my God, they're so conspiratorial. No self-awareness, you know?
Instead, it was kind of brushed off as like, you've got to be fucking stupid to think that you know, Hasan would shock his dog on stream, and he just kind of propped it up as like the only people that would believe this are like bad people in the first
pro-Israel far right
place, or like, you know, grifters, this kind of thing. And I just find that to just be so disingenuous, because most people are going to see this and it looks like you shock your dog. Given how annoyed you are with the dog, and right before she yelps out in pain, you roll your eyes, you look at something off screen, you clearly are like, you are reaching off screen, that is very clear, and then the dog yelps while you were still annoyed, and then instead of doing like what I feel like most dog owners would do, would like check to see like, is everything all right? Why'd she just yelp in pain? Instead of doing that, calling her a baby and then mentioning how spoiled she is about roaming the house, like that doesn't compute. If this was her dew claw getting stuck there and then yelping in pain, you would have no idea why she's yelping. Why is your first instinct to call her a baby and then mention how spoiled she is about, you know, your mom letting her roam the house? The response to it just doesn't really seem to make sense if what happened is her dew claw getting stuck there. I just don't see why he would respond that way, like so like aggressive about it. It just doesn't really make sense. Now, a bunch of super sleuths were diving in, like really analyzing frame by frame. Apparently, Hasan has mentioned that she does have like an AirTag on her collar. People also saw like a doohickey underneath the AirTag right before the moment where she yelps, where there's like a green blinking gadget there, a little fucking gizmo. And people were speculating that's probably the shock collar. And now today, Hasan went on stream to show the collar and explain what it is that everyone saw.
This is the one that people are talking about. Okay, this is the one.
This whole thing.
This is the one that they saw.
This whole thing.
It has the capacity to vibrate, and that's it. Are you happy? That's it. Good. There's the AirTag. There's the fucking
like he couldn't. I feel like we need like an HBO movie, you know, about this incident. You know, 10 years from now, some independent filmmaker is going to pitch the HBO top brass to do like a made-for-TV movie, especially about this whole thing. What's crazy is I feel like that's not even totally implausible. You know, weirder things have happened. He really could not have done this in a more suspicious way. I'm so sorry, because I know that we've watched this clip like 50 times, but it's comical. Like, he could not have been more suspicious with like how he was showing it. Like everything about it. He's so like, you know what I mean? Like his whole posture and his whole like, everything's just so kind of just like, here, you see? You fucking happy? You know, you can only see like the bottom half. Like, here, right there. See? It's fucking the fucking thing, all right? You fucking happy? It's like so stiff, and like he just couldn't have been more suspicious. Like surely there must have been an easier way to do this. Like if you're gonna like do deception and like lie about it, like don't fucking be ridiculously suspicious about it.
There's the AirTag. There's the fucking vibrator. It all
especially the last one. The last one just fucking sends me, you know. The last one is the real fucking cherry on top, the fucking chef's kiss, or it's just literally just like, you fucking happy? All right? Showed you, okay? Happy now? Fucking, there, you saw it. Case closed. We can stop talking about this now, you know?
There's the AirTag.
Like,
there's the fucking
just like
vibrator.
Boom.
It also uses.
Amazing. If you don't think this shit is funny, I don't know what to tell you. This is the funniest shit ever. This is just fucking, this is the drama slop that you live for. You wait years for these kinds of drama slop moments.
This is the flashlight.
Most. Like even that, like it's such an awkward way to hold it. Like why would you do it this, like what is the explanation for it? Like how does that make sense to do it? There's the flashlight, as you can clearly see the entire unit, you know, like why would you do it this way? This is the most unintuitive way to hold something. If you're showing it, you would just do this. This is what you would do. You would just do this, guys. This is just the universal, hey, look at me, I'm showing you something gesture that has probably been a staple of human behavior for thousands of years, you know? 5,000 years ago, some caveman was like excited about a cool rock that they found. And they did this shit. Hey, look at this rock. Holy shit. Look at the colors, you know? They were doing that 5,000 years ago. They weren't going to their caveman friends and be like, look at this rock that I found. That's just not how you would show it, you know?
Stop putting your fingers on it, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Christ. Jesus, man.
Okay. And this is when it vibrates.
What? What? Guys, let me show you my new, guys, I just got a new controller, guys. Let me show you to you guys. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show it. Ready? See? I just bought it. It's brand new.
Look at the details. Look at the exactly, dude. Exactly, right? It is comical, man.
Do you guys see it? It's right here. Like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. What, like, bro. It's not hard to just like self-debunk for like 2 minutes, man. Like, it's not hard, man. Why does he keep fucking putting his fingers
It has the
on
capacity to vibrate.
Can you see that?
This is the appropriate reaction, by the way. That was really funny. He's like, move your fucking fingers, man.
Here. This is the flashlight.
Bro, stop putting your fingers on it, man.
Oh man, I've never felt so seen, you know? Like that was my exact internal reaction too. It's like, what the fuck is this? Like, why is this happening? Oh man, holy shit.
It also has a flashlight component to it at nighttime, and it also has a tracker on it when she gets lost. If she were to actually get fucking lost.
So on stream, he was showing that the unit everyone saw is something that can only vibrate, it can't shock. It also has like other things like a flashlight and stuff. And then he went on to explain like why he has a vibrator there for the sake of like training and that kind of thing.
Very poor choice of words, let's be honest.
Now, since this was a day later,
I'm not even sure he picked up on, we're calling that a vibrator? Or is it a doggy vibrator? Is that what's going on?
Obviously, people are going to be wondering, is this real? Like, is he telling the truth? Like, you could have swapped it out. You could have changed out the previous model with one that doesn't have shocking capabilities. Because there are vibrate-only units, and there are...
Liberals even giving dogs vibrators nowadays. Crazy. It's the far left, okay? Liberals, we don't do that shit. Far left, doggy vibrators. I don't know what's going on with that.
Some that have vibrate and shock, something he also mentions that those kind of things do exist. But since this was so far after the fact, people are always going to wonder, well, did he just switch it out? And something else that spawned from this is, it looks like there's tape on it. So when you watch it and you like pay attention to the actual unit, it looks like there is just some black tape on it. And a bunch of people online started to try and find out what brand this is, because I don't know if I missed it and everyone else missed it, but I don't think he mentioned what model this is, like what brand or what model, anything like that.
He sure didn't.
So people don't know what it is, they're just going to have to like take his word for it that this is a vibrate-only unit, and since there's no visible prongs, you're led to believe that it can't shock or anything. However...
Loner Box fucking upstaged me, that son of a bitch, man. I was like on the case yesterday. I fucking never do that, you know? Who was that one girl that got Gabby Petito? Gabby Petito? Is that her name? Remember that shit? Remember how everybody got on that and started doing the whole, like, I feel like millions of people were doing like sleuthing. I never do that. I never do that. And for some reason, there was something about this story that I just got so invested in it. Literally after yesterday, I was like, oh, I kind of understand, because I get kind of judgy. People that get really kind of like too deep into true crime, you know, like we'll watch like HBO documentaries and they'll be like independent investigators that are just fucking out there in the world, like looking into shit. I'll always like turn to Esme and be like, these people are fucking weird, man. This is weird behavior. Like, what are you doing? Don't you have a family at home? Like, what do you know, like I'm like going there. And then after yesterday, I'm like, I get it, you know, because I got so invested. I was like, wait a second, you know, and I'm like fucking looking at different models and I got chat helping me out. And then fucking somebody links this Loner Box video where he just very succinctly, very matter-of-factly, just boom, lays it all out. And I'm like, damn, this slick motherfucker. It's like a 50-second just boom, bum, boom, bum, boom. Somebody else made a GIF. Now I got to find the GIF. Somebody made a GIF of the, hold on, let me find it. I think it was, there it is. I found it. Look what the internet does, man. Look, fucking incredible. Somebody made it, just like, look at it. And it's just so, you know, like, boom, that's a match. That's a match. not a match. You know, like shit like that is like, oh, clever.
There are shock collars that have detachable prongs. In fact, the shock collars we use on Skill Check channel when we play Magic the Gathering and make a misplay and we shock ourselves, you can take the prongs off of those. I think that's a pretty standard feature in a...
No, but the model that Hasan has, and we talked about this before in the stream, you can take the prongs off, but there's still kind of like a screw that protrudes. And I'm just 1000% convinced, because it couldn't be anything else, that he like filed it off, like cut it off, you know? That's like the only thing he could have done. And it's just so obviously that model, which adds a whole new level of hilarity to the whole thing.
A lot of shock collars, I think. So like you can just take the prongs off. And when you increase the brightness here, it does seem like there's definitely tape. I've seen this picture floated around a lot, and people believe that they have narrowed it down to a model called the Educator ET400, which seems to match it visually 1-to-1 in all aspects except for the bottom side there, where on the ET400 there are 2 prongs there, but you can take those prongs off from what I can tell, at least online, and in the Hasan clip, there's a bunch of tape there, which potentially would be there to cover up the holes. I don't really know what else there would be tape there for. I don't really get that. Like, it doesn't make a ton of sense. But of course, I have no...
And of course, it also logically follows that today on the stream, and maybe he did that and I'm unaware of it. I feel like you guys would have showed up in my... You guys would have linked to it if this actually happened. But like, it also logically follows that today he would, you know, like... He's undoubtedly seen the commentary about the tape and everything. You know, he would show it again and be like, oh, that's not tape. This is something else. Again, the only play, the only thing that makes sense. Did he do that? No, I'm not. I feel like Ak would have been on that immediately.
No way of knowing 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt that Hasan shocked Kaya on that stream or anything like that. But based on the old eyeball test, the old smell test, what you can literally see, he is annoyed with Kaya. He expressed it a couple of times, scolded her. He rolls his eyes. He does reach for something off screen. And as he is reaching, it seems like when he finally gets to something, she yelps in pain.
Yeah. So, and now there's this new problem, right? Because, I saw a clip show up on my feed. I think, was it Dan? I think Dan Clancy said something to the effect of like, the window is now closed permanently. Like there's nothing he can do from this point moving forward to clear his name, like to 100% clear his name, because we're out of that window. And now we're in the window of, he could have replaced it. Like that's gone. It's just closed. Like he cannot, that's it. Like he, you know, missed the opportunity. And he's right. Like there's no way that you can ever get rid of the suspicion now. There's just no way, right?
There is no longer any reality where Hasan can now prove his innocence. Is gone.
It's true.
Is gone. If he shows up tomorrow with the vibrate only mode dog tracker, it means nothing. Nothing to me. He is offline. He had his chance to prove his innocence today. He knew what he was doing. He chose not to do it. GG. Bye-bye. That's the sound. I don't give a fuck. He could show up with the CEO of dog.
Now, to be fair, Dan is, you know, nobody can, I've never seen, like, Dan is, his superpower is his ability to obsess. I mean, this guy, I would never want to be Dan's enemy in 1,000 years. And he's obviously, like, very biased against, you know, Hasan, as am I for that matter. But what he's saying is not wrong. Like, what he's saying, he's just spitting facts here. Like, this is just, what he's saying is just objectively true. There's nothing he could do now. If he showed a thing today, people would be like, okay. Did you get that from Amazon like an hour ago? Like you just...
Dogtracker.com attesting under oath that Hasan never bought one. I would never believe it. He had his chance. He didn't do it because he knew he couldn't do it because he didn't have the vibrate only mode. Fuck you, Hasan.
I mean, he's true. It's true. It's true. He's correct.
And instead talks about why she's like a spoiled baby. I don't see anything that she could have like hurt herself on. It doesn't seem like her dew claw or anything gets tangled up in the bed. So to me, it feels like it is something he did. Even if it's not a full-blown shock, he didn't get her with like a Dungeons and Dragons lightning bolt or anything like that. If it is a vibrate-only unit, I feel like he definitely did press the vibrate in that instance there. I see nothing else that would cause that yelp here from everything that we can clearly see. And if that is the case, and that, to me, that's what it seems like the case is, that's super fucked up. She didn't do anything wrong. I don't think there's anything to warrant him being upset in the first place. And to be upset enough to press a, correctional button on that device is so beyond fucked. There was no bad behavior or any kind of correction or punishment needed to be doled out there. All she did was move on the bed slightly, slightly move off the bed. I think it's super fucked up. But if this is all wrong, it's all a bunch of hooey, and Hasan didn't shock or vibrate.
He uses these boomer memes. Now, apparently, what is Hasan's official subreddit? Is it Hasan Piker? Apparently, the subreddit is very upset. Because I guess he came out with a video talking about Gaza recently, and so they were like, yeah, fucking Moist is
I was an extra in the Hunger Games.
So fucking based. Did he make a video on Gaza? I can't find it, but I'm pretty sure he just made a video talking about Gaza. I called it a genocide. When did Moist Critical become a far-right Nazi? What? What? Is it 0 upvotes? 2 hours ago. I always knew he was a gun sexual and was a big freedom of speech and Elon Musk defender. Now he's outright attacking Hasan. Hasan is truly the last beacon of hope on the internet for unfiltered truth. Is this a bit? I don't like the video either, but he's definitely not. Okay, so he's got some people pushing back here. Oh, well, no, this guy's agreeing. All right, you know what? To be fair, it does look like there are, the post is entirely people pushing back. Oh, what did I just do? Very disappointed in Charlie, Moist Critical. I'm very disappointed in, we got to do a different voice. I don't know what to do.
I'm very disappointed in Charlie / Moist Critical. The lack of empathy from huge YouTubers is just disappointing. He claims to not want to cover internet drama when it comes to controversial figures like Mr. Beast, Logan Paul, KSI, etc., but has no issues covering people like Pirate Software separately from the Stop Killing Games movement, the Iron Mouse, and VS what the fuck situation. It's obvious he doesn't want to make any of the really big channels angry and doesn't want to take any sides that aren't guaranteed to be 100% public approved. He is a coward. After facing backlash from his right-wing audience due to his views on children transitioning, Charlie decided to reduce his internet activity for a time, left his podcast, and even stopped streaming for a few days. For his review of Superman, he didn't even touch the Yarhanpur and Baravia plot thread, probably too afraid his genocide-supporting part of the audience wouldn't like him talking about that, and finally refuses to even tweet about sending help or prayers to Palestine, but has no issues covering whatever the fuck Trump is up to, because that's something both the right and the left agree on these days. He's a hypocrite, admonishing people while still attempting to appear quote-unquote holier than thou and morally correct by spouting the safest opinions imaginable. He is everything wrong with the current YouTube sphere, and I genuinely do not know how someone like him could be so beloved.
I lost any respect I had for him back when he was bitching about that iDubbbz had nothing to apologize for after iDubbbz apologized for his use of slurs. Moist didn't understand at all that people are willing to accept that iDubbbz has moved on and grown as a person, as long as he accepted that saying all that back then was not okay. Or worse, literally thought there was nothing wrong with saying shit like that back then, because everyone did it, and it was just the time.
To be honest, I've always had iffy vibes from Charlie. He gives spineless centrist. I don't really know that type of content. I usually skip it when Hasan or one of the Flip channels cover him.
Moist just parrots the internet's most popular opinion. Once you realize he isn't authentic at all, he becomes difficult to watch.
It really does suck. I watched him before he did too much drama content a few years back, but when he started to stray from topics I cared about drama-wise because it was too controversial, I started to back away. I was upset when he stopped talking about the drama when it was convenient for him, Mr. Beast, and stopped watching him for a while. But recently I started watching him again because for his content, because it's like not serious stuff, I was surprised but happy when he talked about Epstein stuff because it lets me know that I'm not crazy. It has gone this far, wait, what? It has gone this far that people, that even people who try to stay silent are upset about it. Everybody is. This problem was worded bad because I don't know how to describe it much, but yeah, I mean, he does fence it too much. But I feel with time, because things are only getting worse, he might actually start to show more of his real thoughts and opinions.
That's just too funny. When did Moist Critical become a far-right Nazi? That's crazy. That had to be parody, right? Like, there's no way. I just don't believe it. I don't think so. There's no way. That's just... Well, now I never actually like review Reddit threads. This is great. I didn't know, like, I had no idea there's so much content here. I mean, this is just great content, like, to be quite frank.
He'll end up having to address it more anyways. It's obvious this one went viral with mainstream YouTubers picking up on it, like Charlie. He'll have to go over even more unnecessary scrutiny. Honestly, I hope he addresses the Charlie video specifically. I want to know in what terms exactly Charlie and Hasan are to make sense about why he wouldn't contact Hasan in the first place before making his video on the matter. We'll see how we proceed if or when we cross that bridge. Chances are, if it's basically this video but repackaged for Charlie, then we'll just reference this video again. I mean, ultimately, we want the sub to go back to shitposting and political discussions again.
It's obvious to me that the haters want Hasan to be an animal abuser. Unfortunately, that's just not how life works. We can attest to so many people with fascist politics being people who do nice things IRL. Unfortunately for them, Hasan isn't the dog-abusing Muslim terrorist they want him to be. This made the rounds in German subreddits. Even it was crazy. People were claiming he taped the contacts on the collar. I've seen a TikTok where a dog trainer showed an actual shot collar, and those contacts are huge and can't be taped away. In any case, they wouldn't work with Kaya regardless, since they have to reach the skin. It was honestly crazy for how dumb this is.
That's not how it works. That is not how it works.
The fact that an army of professional trolls with limitless resources comes so hard for Hasan, and all they ever resort to is duping people with deceptive editing and disingenuous framing of clips, from his streams, proves his uprightness to me further. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Hold on. Let me try that again. All right, hold on. The fact that an army of professional trolls with limitless resources comes so hard for Hasan phrasing, and all they can ever resort to is duping people with deceptive editing and disingenuous framing of clips from his streams, proves his uprightness to me further.
That sentence is all kinds of trouble. Throw some commas in there or something, man.
If this man had real bodies buried, they'd surely be dug up by now. Like, right? Keep going, Hasan. Your voice is needed in this hellscape. I know that Hasan doesn't want to do this, but man, he's really got to consider paying some organized PR firm to push back on this shit. It's really his only option. The more this shit works, the more unhinged and threatening the lies and smears are gonna get. I don't think it's tenable like this. I disagree with this one, not gonna lie. One of the coolest things about Hasan is that other than having a manager agent, he just really handles himself when it comes to his image and whatever bullshit narrative there is going around about him.
He's been in the game for a good minute, you know. He knows and understands well what works and what doesn't. And he's more than capable of adapting. The best part about Hasan is that he doesn't really need a firm to launder his reputation. His deeds and his actions speak for themselves. Kind of like the America deserved 9/11 thing. He'll bounce back after the dust settles and people understand the reality of the situation, not the media sensationalism.
I don't know why people or Hasan thinks this is going to blow over. They're trying to alinity him and have already had success, as can be seen by how much wider this has spread before he even talked about it. I think this was a mistake. I think it was a mistake that he didn't immediately show the collar on the day this popped off. But, you know, it is what it is.
Wait, hang on. I just want to tell this person, like, just pause right there. Just pause on that. Just like pause on that one for a second. I want to just be like, just pause. Just hold that thought for like a second, you know?
I think his statements yesterday and in this video have already been great first steps, because now they'd have to fall back on the stupid idea that he somehow removed shock prongs and duct taped the back of the collar. But I think an even more in-depth coverage with either a dog trainer or a Maya would really help fight back against the misinformation. That's the thing, though. Wait, hold on.
That's the thing, though. It's a never-ending game of shifting goalposts. These people who have made it their life goal to slander and harm Hasan are not open to the idea of accepting facts. Hasan has addressed this and said his piece, saying it's an imperfect way of going about it is fair.
The lie has already taken root. Whatever he says or does, people will just come up with reasons that he's, quote, lying to us. The only way for this to end is to stop interacting with it. Stop giving these people attention and just let it take the natural flow all internet drama does.
Alinity literally did that, and she was hounded for years for the cat thing, and it only stopped after she started to push back in collabs with other popular content creators. Hasan needs to either talk to Charlie or get his other friends to back him up. Bring the squad.
The lie took root and caused haters to scrub his videos looking for more evidence. Most annoying part of all being the video they posted from years ago where Hasan apparently pulls Fish's tail.
Wait, that's crazy for like apparently he just, what do you mean apparently? It looks like Ogre Boy. I know. Listen, just put yourself in his shoes, man. That's rough. He's in a rough spot. You know, it's like, you know, it's like the equivalent of like MAGA people trying to defend Trump on the Epstein stuff. It's just like some shit is so ridiculous that you just can't even fucking, how do you even do that, right? Like the best that it got, like Charlie Kirk was like, that was like the best MAGA had when they had to defend that shit. It was just like, look, man, I don't like it either, but you know, the boss is telling us to move on. So that's what I'm going to do. It's just, they just had to just like, that was the only play, because how else do you explain Donald Trump saying, you know, I'm thinking about pardoning a convicted child rapist? I don't know. I have to talk to DOJ about it, but yeah, maybe. It's like, what? Excuse me? I'm looking for like the big paragraphs. They're always the best one.
Did he explain why he was annoyed that she got up? That's the only confusing part to me. I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm just curious.
He just came back from France with barely any sleep and hella jet lag. The stream fully broke. Like, not a small F. He had to start a new broadcast. The incident happened directly after the new stream started. He said he shouldn't have got short with her and he should have checked on her immediately.
He doesn't want her to lay on hardwood floor for her health, so she has the place command to lay on her bed. He does let her wander, but just doesn't want her laying on the floor. I love the, I'm not trying to imply anything. I'm just curious. The framing is like, okay, hang on.
Mods have mercy. There's another video with fish, RIP, that I've seen floating around the usual subs that IMO looks way worse for him. And I haven't seen anyone in this community address it. If it's doctored or something, will somebody let me know? No!
It's like, somebody just tell me that it's doctored. Please, can somebody just bookmark this? And I got my notifications on, you know? Like, it's got to be doctored, right?
The tail one?
That fish video is old, and he's playing with fish. If you pull on a dog's tail and they don't like it, you lose your hand. Also, telling a dog, I'm gonna kill you, means nothing because contrary to popular belief, dogs don't understand English. As I was saying, he was playing with fish while training him and did it on video for content creation. It's not that deep.
If he, you know, if he had actually pulled Fish's tail, she would have bitten his hand off, obviously.
Yeah, I don't really care about what he says either for the same reason. It was just the tail pull that I thought, oh, hold on. Yeah, I don't really care what he says either for the same reason. It was just the tail pull that I thought looked awful. Ask Hasan about it. It was like a decade ago. Maybe he regrets it. No one here is going to be able to tell you what Hasan's thoughts.
Like I said, I'll say it again if I have to. If you pull on a dog's tail and they don't like it, they will attack you. No matter how trained. Hasan didn't... Wait, hold on. Hasan doing that with fish shows the bond they have. It looks bad, but it's on par with people messing with their dogs, and the dog is just chilling.
That's a sign of their bond? The cope is insane! Actually, that shows you what a tight bond they have, that he didn't fucking rip his hand off. He was just joshing around, you know? Man, this thread goes deep. If you don't stand people, you don't have to worry about this shit because you recognize that human beings are flawed and they make mistakes. And you don't put people up on a fucking pedestal where you just expect them to never have any flaws. When you stand people, it's like the person is fucking perfect. And so you get this, like there's this crazy cognitive dissonance that people experience when they stand people because you just can't live in reality. Everybody fucking does stupid shit sometimes. Everybody. Obviously, you should stand me, obviously. Like, I very famously have a very normal past without any problems or big mistakes. It would have been documented by now if I ever made any mistakes. It would just, people would know about it. And it's never happened. So far, so good. Uh-oh. Drama.
I wouldn't even breathe in the direction of Moist if I were you, to be honest. I mean, he put his fucking flag on the, he put his stake on this, okay? He was like, oh, enough people shit on him. It's good enough. It's like, obviously not a, it's obviously, no matter how fucking made up a narrative it is, if a clip looks bad enough, then he will go with it. And he will just use these guys, all these guys fucking do is basically farm Reddit for talking points. And Reddit can so
No, I don't. I mean, to be fair, I mean, that was just funny timing because like I literally never look at Reddit threads. That's amazing timing because I literally never look at Reddit threads. I don't hardly ever spend time on Reddit. And then the one time we're going through these threads, he says this. I mean, my goodness, you couldn't have written this better.
Bad enough, then he will go with it. And he will just use these guys. All these guys fucking do is basically farm Reddit for talking points. And Reddit can so easily be botted and manipulated. And I don't think we're ever going to get ahead of that. There's just nothing we can
do. Again, just to beat the shit out of a dead horse, you could have so definitively gotten ahead of all the bots and all that. Like, you could have done something, like you could have, like Like if you would have done what Charlie said you should have done, or and I say you should have done it, like that would have been the end of the conversation. Fuck the bots. Who cares? The bots make your haters look dumb because it's just, you just fucking thoroughly debunked it, right?
Bro, he said you're abusing Kyle. Like, no way, fuck him. Yeah, I mean, if he thinks that he can suck my dick. Weird how quiet he was about literal pedophilia in certain communities. I mean, it took him 2 years to fucking come out and be like, yeah, the genocide is happening and it's really fucking bad, actually. So,
my God.
Charlie's been on a good streak lately. He genuinely cares about dogs. He talks about how much he cares about dogs and pets all the time. So do I, dumb fuck. That's the reason why I'm...
Oh my God, dude. There is serious strife in the community. This is big. This is a big moment. This is a moment that will test your loyalty, okay? That's why these things happen. We are given these moments to test our resolve. This is the moment for you to really step up and show how much you love and stan Hasan. This is your moment. Look at it like an opportunity. Demonstrate undying fealty, unyielding loyalty. This is your moment. Your time to shine. Your call. Are you going to be one of these pussies that runs away when it gets tough? When people accuse you of abusing a dog? Or are you going to plant your flag?
Fucking pissed off. That's the reason why I'm fucking...
You didn't even talk about Gaza until like a month ago. You know, so like, can you really trust what he has to say? He didn't even talk about Destiny.
Fucking annoyed. He could just like unironically reach out and be like, hey, what's going on here?
Why do people pretend like they have these fucking deep friendships with other content creators? Why do people do this, you know? It's such a weird thing, you know, that people, it's like, you could have just called me. You could have just texted me. It's like, bro, I don't even fucking know you. I don't know. Have they even met? Not sure if his fans care that too much. Post from, yeah.
Like, what was this about? This clip looks bad. You know what I mean? Hey, Hasan, I know.
They played basketball and stuff? All right, maybe I'm wrong on that one.
We've been around one another before. We've actually been around one another, and a lot of the people that I know that I'm around all the time and do content with have not only been around you, but also been around Kaya. He could have just fucking hit up, not me, but any number of different people to be like, hey, do you think there's any veracity? Do you think there's any veracity to these claims? Not just...
Why would you do that? I'm just imagining, you know, like if something similar happened with like Hector, would I text Mike and be like, yo, did you see that video? What do you think?
It's like, don't ask me directly. Do your due diligence. Why the fuck do you go to Reddit for talking points, dumbass? What kind of fucking moron are you? It's fucking insane to me that like this is what goes for like doing commentary on the internet is just like, oh, these are the Reddit threads from some of the most like schizophrenic people you've ever actually encountered.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree that that's not how you should cover this. I fully agree. This one's really good. I gotta nail this one. This one is really good.
I obviously think this is a nothing burger. Obviously. Just to clear that up. Big old nothing burger. I mean, obviously, right? But people are complaining about him reaching for something at the same moment she yelps. Or the video where he pulls fish by the tail. Like, what would you say to that? I might have missed these things in an explanation video, but the smearing campaign is still going strong.
Who cares? Anyone who is honestly curious about the truth can watch his full 30-minute debunking from yesterday's stream. Giving this manufactured controversy any more air is pointless.
That is amazing. What are you guys saying when people bring up the pulling the tail thing? Like, just out of curiosity, obviously this is a nothing burger. How do you react? How are you guys explaining that? I'm having a hard time with that one. But obviously, big old nothing burger, right?
The amount of time I've wasted trying to explain to liberal normies that dogs can't fucking understand English, like, holy shit. People genuinely upset that Kaya was called a baby, as if she could understand that in his barely raised speaking tone while he wasn't even facing her. I hate these pearl clutchers. Mostly do absolutely nothing to prevent animal abuse in their daily lives, too.
My dog 100% understands like 100 words. Yeah, that's true. That's the other thing too. It's like dogs definitely understand words, but I think the point that she was making was like, because he said like, I'm gonna fucking kill you if you don't sit down or something like that. You know, I think the point is generally correct that the dog did not understand that its life was imperiled for a moment there. Like, what else is going on the subreddit? Like, this can't be the only juicy thread.
Let me try to understand the story here. He secretly has Kaya wired up, even though she's on camera, 8 hours a day. Nobody's ever seen the collar. And then he chooses today to shock her live on stream because she didn't want to lay in the bed. Something she does 100 times a day. I think if anything got shocked, it's the brains of those clowns. Not to mention the multiple people who have interacted with Kaya before and haven't noticed anything. The lady from the I've Had It pod even called him out because the collar was too tight, but was fine with it being a shock collar. Crazy stuff.
LSF and Infuriating as Fuck have like over 6K comments on each on this. Each. And everyone is like, nah, it can only be abuse. Just by looking at zoomed in pictures of the collar, they 100% know it just has to be a shot collar. He's holding her up as a prop, obviously. Look at him gaslighting a dog. And the casual is Islamophobia with shit like, I'm surprised he even has a dog. Muslims don't have dogs. And what did you expect from a terrorist? Haters have having a fucking field day with this. No shred of benefit of the doubt in sight, all because Hasan moved his hand off screen in a way where everyone jumped on it, saying he must have done something. He's responsible for the Yelp.
You're right, OP, but keep in mind, there's no convincing those who are running with this in bad faith. You can clearly tell in LSF with the same old copy-paste comments, they totally were waiting for an opportunity like this.
XQC was trying to find the collar. The round white thing is probably an air tag, but you can get slips for air tags that go over collars. So it's probably one on a shot collar. That lady that was over at his house also says her collar is too tight. And he says, well, it's and stops himself. You'd need it tight for skin contact. Skin contact. Okay, wait,
Hold on. He was like replying to a comment. And then like in response to that, the person says,
insane shit. Almost on the level of, quote, it was revealed to me in a dream as proof.
Now that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. The commenter is like, that's crazy. You know, they're trying to find the collar, you know? And you know, the collar was too, and this person's like saying that it's almost on the level of it was revealed. We're just talking about things that were like seen on the stream, you know?
I was pretty skeptical about today's news. Once H3 subreddit picked it up, I knew something fishy was up. It just didn't seem to be in Hasan's character to use a shot collar. I could have sworn he's talked about them in the past as a negative when he was first training Kaya. You know, it's
crazy that like for people like outside of Hasan's orbit, we've known for years that this, like, he will just lie. Like, we know this. He'll just, like, he will lie. Like, lie. Not like misunderstanding or an exaggeration. Just, he will lie. You know, and he's got users that's like, I could have sworn he said that shot collars were bad, right? Like, that blows a hole right through this thing, right?
You're right. Chatter suggested a shot collar when she was 5 months, and he said no. That she does not even do stuff that's bad. She just needs some guidance on some little stuff. So yeah, he was not into it. That chatter got roasted in the chat too. The others were also very against it. This whole situation really opened my eyes to how faded most people seem to be on social media. Clipping verbal shit is one thing, but motherfuckers will go MK Ultra drone mode. The moment they see a clip, they desperately want to be real and jump on the bandwagon, completely making shit up and hallucinating. It's not just disappointing, it's genuinely dangerous. Not to mention, this isn't just being posted on echo chambers, but more normie inclined platforms. People see headlines, already have a disposition to disliking Hasan, and immediately believe it. I haven't watched the stream live in a while, but Kaya is literally in every clip I've ever seen of Hasan. If Hasan is shocking Kaya on the regular, how would it have taken this long for people to notice? How would 0 of his guests, including Maya of Alveus Sanctuary, for example, not have said anything for all this time? These people are brain dead and cannot think critically past a headline for 2 seconds. And these people vote. I can't believe how hard you had to research to debunk this. Must have had a team of professionals at it for hours, compiling some clear images of Kaya's collar and then doing one Google Lens search. I'm not surprised. No one on LSF could manage this. It's too much work. I'm so confused, though. If Kaya has had that collar, and this dude has been alive 8 hours a day, Kaya has literally not listened to Hasan when people come over, then why hasn't she been shocked before? The logic is so fucking dumb because they linked to an older VOD of proof of the collar, and yet couldn't find any other instance of Kaya being shocked just today of all days. Like, you know.
The thing that I heard that to possibly explain this that seems like the most compelling is like that he had it on the wrong setting. Purely speculatory. But that one, if you really think about it, that one actually there's like the audio of when he put the thing down, there's like 2 noises that you hear, you know? There's like a smaller noise and then a bigger noise for like putting something down on his desk. And what if he was like clicking the thing back to the fucking right mode and then he put it down? I don't know. I'm just saying. I haven't even been looking at chat because I've been reading these posts. I don't know. Did you guys enjoy the dramatic readings from the Reddit? I hope that fucking killed because I have no idea. I couldn't look at chat. I tried to make that funny. I tried to make it funny. I tried. I put my all into that one. I fucking really like channeled my senior year of high school, you know, drama class